Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. Hello! It's been a while since I recorded a solo podcast episode, so I decided it was high time that I did. It's only going to be a short and sweet one, but I think it's a bit of a golden nugget for you. Most of the interviews I've been conducting have been about networking at specific networking meetings, but I wanted to remind you that networking opportunities are everywhere. I was reminded this of myself this week when I took part in a workshop about PR for your business. There was only 4 of us there, but actually there were some good connections to be made. 2 of the people in the room were a couple who own an estate agency. They are dealing with clients who are coming from outside the area who want to buy a property in North East Lincolnshire or the Wolds area of Lincolnshire. Now, these people might be coming from a long way away. They themselves have previously been living in London, and they expect to have quite a few clients who are interested in moving from the city to the countryside. Now, these people are going to need somewhere to stay while they're looking at properties. One of the other people in the room runs a guest house. The guest house owner has noticed that recently she's had quite a few people staying with her who've been looking to buy a property in the area. So a great connection was made there. There was also a good connection for me because the couple running the estate agency are looking to do things in a slightly different way. They're not your traditional agency, and they want to make use of more modern methods of advertising their properties, including video, which could well have voiceover. So we've exchanged contact details too. I didn't go to this workshop with any expectation of meeting people who I might be able to help with my services. I went to learn about PR. But because the workshop was very interactive and allowed for a lot of discussion time, we all got to know about each other's businesses and think about ways that we could help each other. It just goes to show that you don't have to go to a networking meeting to grow your network. Other places that I've met people, which are perhaps a bit more obvious as networking opportunities, would be conferences or business exhibitions. These aren't advertised as networking events, but they're great places to meet people. There have been occasions where I've met people in really random places. For example, when I was a PhD student, which is quite a while ago now, I was travelling by coach somewhere, and the people behind me were having a conversation which actually related to the work that I was doing as a PhD student, so I turned round and got into a conversation with them. I can't quite remember the details now, but I remember thinking how random it was that I was on a bus somewhere and the person behind me was actually useful for my research. You just never know. I just think it's important to be listening out all the time for opportunities for networking and for connecting people with people that are in your network. That also happened yesterday, as the guest house owner was looking for a graphic designer and a photographer. She's a new business and needs to get her logos and images sorted out. And myself and someone else in the room were able to suggest a couple of people that she could try. Here's another public transport-related story that isn't anything to do with my business, but it is to do with somebody listening into a conversation and then being able to help out. I was on a train somewhere with a friend and telling her that my son was interested in going into the army. He plays the tuba and is keen to join one of the army bands. Now, I wasn't super keen on this idea. I'm not sure that any mother is ever keen for her son to join the army. However, a lady on the train came over to me and told me that her daughter played the trumpet, I think it was, in one of the army bands, and she told me what a fantastic life her daughter had had. That made me think again, and actually my son is about to apply to join the army, and now that I know more about it, it's with my blessing. So my message is, wherever you are, there are networking opportunities. You just need to be listening out for them. Maybe you'll overhear somebody say they need help with something, and you know the ideal person you could put them in touch with. They're sure to be really grateful. So that's it for this week. I promised you it was going to be short and sweet, but hopefully you found that useful. Do join me again next time. Thanks for listening to Small Business, Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.